All right, we are live. It's the 207th Mina's House podcast. Happy New Year. I'm Mina, say what?
I'm Shayna B.
Garnett Briscoe.
Jack Stuckey.
Guys, I missed you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. There's so much that has happened in like the 2 weeks that have passed by that we haven't been on. It feels like forever.
Mm-hmm.
You missed a day. You missed a lot.
Hello, especially in today's world. They already, so Antonio Brown had like a blow up. They're already saying that's gonna, you know how they do the calendar every year for like the biggest events of the month? They already put Antonio Brown as January.
Yeah, but like they're moving too fast. Because remember last year, that would have been January 2nd. Remember last year, January 6th, the world exploded with the calendar.
Right.
Slow it down, y'all. January's not over yet.
You know, I saw an article that said the anniversary of the insurgents. I was like, the anniversary
of the insurrection. It wasn't insurrection.
Whatever. I called it the insurgents. What in the movie? Insurrection. I was like, this ain't no anniversary. You acting like it's a good thing.
That was crazy. And the fact that there's so many of those people that still haven't been prosecuted, walking around free, when if it was any of us on this podcast, we still be in jail waiting for our one phone call a year later.
Hello.
I don't know, Shannon, because a lot of us was at the Targets when it was, we were running out of Target, and I don't think we got in trouble either.
I'm saying once they identified us, once we were identified and charges were pressed, we wouldn't be walking free.
That's the difference. We won't get caught.
You weren't identified in the Target thing, right? They just let the looters
That's
loot.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's
people
looting. Yeah. These people have been identified. They didn't got to celebrate Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, all
New
of
Year's
summer.
Eve. They just celebrated New Year's Eve. They're out there. They were out there saying Happy New Year to somebody. No, you're going to jail this year.
Garnett got a new do-rag. What's going on, man?
Flavors, man. Flavors. That's all. Just representing for the
Flavors.
2022.
Is this a Scarface background?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you already know.
This is when the Jamaicans come up on the side.
It wasn't Jamaican. It was definitely like
oh, you're thinking of Belly, Mina.
Yeah. Wrong movie.
Who came up on the side? I am thinking of Belly.
These are the cartels, man. This is
right.
It was definitely like Mexicans or something like that. They was the cartels.
I'm a mess this year. I've been a mess. This was the worst holiday ever. I literally did nothing. I was on my mama's couch the whole time. She was hypothesizing how the world is coming to an end. And I did nothing. It was a mess. I just laid in the bed and ate like crap. I haven't cooked all year. I'm a mess because the holiday was so uneventful. I just got lazy.
That's awful, man. Even I cooked, Made like
what you cook?
Like 4 bowls of cereal. You understand?
What different flavors or the same thing?
Nah, it's Captain Crunch with the berries. You know how I get down. Yeah.
That's not cooking, bro. That's oatmeal.
No, that's cooking.
Nah,
that is cooking.
Especially when you put the cereal on the stove. You understand? You got to put it on the stove. Yeah.
How long does one put it on the stove for?
Only like 35 seconds just to get the berries.
You know what?
You got to get the berries warm. You got to warm up.
They're not real berries.
Yes, they are.
Wait, so is the milk when you cook your cereal, is the milk in the bowl too, or is it just the cereal?
So like I only put like a dab actually on there just to like just so it don't burn inside the pot. Put a dab inside of there, but yeah, it's actually on the side. I put sugar in there, and then it's on the side. So
you put sugar.
We already got sugar in Crunch Berries, right?
What happened?
That's already like loaded with sugar, Crunch Berries.
Yeah, that's not enough for me. I need extra. Yeah.
You want diabetes with your cereal.
I need extra.
Look, y'all, he's warming up his diabetes.
But how was y'all holiday? Like, what did y'all do?
Boring, just kind of like yours. I stayed home too. A lot of people.
You stayed home?
Listen, a lot of people had massive COVID, so I stayed home. I told y'all my car blew up last year, not literally, but figuratively speaking. So like, yeah, I like last couple of weeks, I just been chilling out, getting work done, getting my mind right. And yeah, so New Year's Eve, I got some, I had a showing for one of my coworkers who had COVID. He hit me up like, hey bro, you think you can like show my clients a house? And I'm like, yeah, like I'll go do that. So got up, got dressed. I got real fly too. Had my blazer on, my turtleneck, some nice pants, and some mean Jordans to match because I was not wearing shoes on New Year's Eve. No way. So look good. End up, take them to go see two homes. They ended up not liking them, which I completely understand. Very nice homes, just not for them. Then after that, I went to go pick up some champagne, baby. Had to have some champagne. Got to be able to stuff my croissants with champagne. So I ended up doing that, and yeah.
This is the longest, most boring story I've ever heard. You literally did nothing, and you made it sound the longest.
I love it
because it was actually lit. Like it was only lit because I knew I was like safe. I didn't have to worry about much. It was a couple people doing stuff like my cousin, but he lives like 40 minutes away. And that's just the wrong night to be driving back home 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So I had my champagne in my bed, I got my tequila now, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I don't think mine was boring. I was out there. Like I did stuff. I went to my family's party.
You?
Well, I mean, out there in the sense.
Outside.
I went to my family, but first off, I delivered, like I do like a nonprofit situation. So I delivered toys the first day. And then I went to my parents' house. And then as I was at my parents' house at 10 o'clock at night, after a couple shots of Patron, my manager texted me. It was like, hey, I tested positive for COVID.
Your manager? Wait a minute.
From work.
Oh.
Texted me and said, I tested positive for COVID. I mean, I hadn't been around him in a while. So I'm like, I pray that the tequila killed the COVID. And then we hosted my wife's family the next day. And literally the next day, the people who I delivered the gifts to, they're like, hey, we tested positive for COVID. I'm like, what the the weekend was spent trying to get COVID tests. I finally got some. I literally actually just got the results back from one of them today from the 26th. So just put that out there. It was just a really good time. I got like, my people really treat me like a child when it comes to Christmas gifts. I got like the Patron, the cologne, the shot, like the Christmas gifts was just rolling in. Like,
these are children's gifts, Patron.
Well, I'm saying, like, how like with the kids, you hook the kids up. Like the people looked out for me this year, like, or last year. It was a big deal. I was very, very
not blessed. Me. They hate me. I literally got 6 gifts, and Shayna was one of them.
Yes, thank you.
And I bought gifts for like all these people, have a big family, and I literally got like 6 gifts. And one of them is from Shayna, my mother, my mother's boyfriend, and my boyfriend.
6 good ones though?
No. Well, Shayna's gift was good.
I was going to say, how you do that in front of her face?
I was like, wait. It took me a second to say. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, no, wasn't? None of them was good?
No, my boyfriend's gifts was good. My mother was good.
Gifts as I gave either though, but I appreciate my gifts, but I don't think I got as many as I gave, but I was thankful for everything. But I was, for a minute, I was like, wait, did I get everything I was supposed to get? Oh, I did. Okay.
I'm the opposite. I usually kill it with gifts. I think I got everybody something, but the stuff that people got me like ate me up this year. Like, I'm like, dang, y'all like me more than I like y'all.
I got like stuff I needed. I got adult gifts this year. Like, I got a desk. I got an air fryer. Like, I got like, so I think it felt different because I'm like, I guess I did. I asked for underwear. I got underwear. Like, it was like stuff I needed.
Those relatable. I got things that I needed too, like wrestling tickets and tequila. Like, those are things that I need.
Okay, you didn't need the wrestling tickets you needed? Okay.
Shayna, you're not supposed to ask people to buy you underwear for Christmas, Shayna.
It wasn't an ask. I had a conversation about how my dryer was eating up all my underwear. So it was like out there. So then I guess people was like, oh, she need underwear. Yeah, because actually I got mad at my girlfriend who listens to the pod, and she gonna send me this thing on Instagram about like somebody saying this woman GYN showing people with their underwear juices. I was like, that's not the issue with my underwear. It's my dryer. Okay.
Wait, they showing underwear juice on Instagram?
Saying that women need to be cognizant when they see that, or if your underwear is tearing in your right at the private, it means a sign of infection. I said, well, you should know if it's tearing right at the private that something is wrong down there. That shit need to be an Instagram post.
People be doing too much.
Dana, we got beef. I can't believe you gave Mina a gift and didn't put my name and Deck's name in that card. That's crazy. Like, how you just do that?
That's not how you supposed to do it, Shayna. No.
And I delivered it to her.
Yeah, that's wild. It should have been from us. It's just from me.
We do got to do that. We got to do a pod Pollyanna next year.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
So,
but I was just gonna say my holiday was super boring too. I did nothing. This was the most boring ever. Christmas week was crazy. My niece and my nephew were here for Texas, just trying to see everybody. You know, Mina knows I was delivering the gifts. Eagles game got pushed back. That was like part of their Christmas gift, so it was like a little hectic. And then that next week, I had a COVID positive patient I was taking care of in my house, so I really couldn't be around anyone or do anything or have anybody over. And New Year's, it literally was like, I went and got the champagne, and I'm like, "Oh, you just gonna be asleep? Okay, well, Happy New Year's to me."
But you did Disney on Ice, which I thought was cool.
Disney on Ice, I did, and I all the parents knew I had already tested negative twice, but I was around a COVID patient. But again, at this point, it's like, who don't have it? Because literally everybody started having it. I don't have it either. But
I'll talk about that when we get to the topic.
Yeah, but yeah. But
yeah,
so it was definitely a womp New Year's. But I mean, I actually enjoyed it. Watching somebody sleep, you know.
Go to church. Y'all gotta go to church on New Year's.
I did go to church. I do the virtual service. I'm on the AV team. So I filmed it at 7 to replay it at 10:30. Don't get it twisted.
I'm not going to church on New Year's.
It's the best. Like I feel so.
You're supposed to be turning up on New Year's. You can't turn up at the church.
Well, ours was early. Like ours was early. We were home before 10 o'clock. Like we go to church, we do what you got to do to church, and then you go home, and then you do what you do. like nothing else happens.
Ours on purpose because of the violence in Philly. We used to do late, but we moved it up because of the violence in Philly and the numbers. We had to stream it anyway.
Yeah, that was my plan. Was to go to church this year. Like I knew that from probably since like October. Like that's what I was going to do on New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. Wanted to go to church, but with all these cases popping up, I just stayed home. That was it. I wasn't even going to go out and like try to get sick. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Gardner, let me know because I'm gonna just send you the stream the next time because you can praise the Lord online.
Yeah. I mean, I ended up watching it the next day. The church I watched, but yeah, the more the merrier. You know,
I'm a terrible person. I don't go to church on New Year's at all. I never have. I don't even read the word the next day.
Oh, dang, Mina.
God knows your heart.
Yes.
Yes.
I talk to him every night.
Yes.
So let's hop into what's in our feed because it's a new year and it's the same old mess. Tristan Thompson started off our new year with his love child that he initially denied, saying, and then he did the math like, oh, we had sex during this month. So there's no way that she could have had a baby during that month because that means I would have had to have sex with her during this month. And that just wasn't the case. And then he completely denied this child, and turns out a paternity test confirmed that in true Maury style, yes, he is the father. So he had to publicly claim this child, which is a damn shame because this child's going to grow up and see that his dad tried to say that his mom was just sex and they just talked on Snapchat and that's not his kid and all these things. And then he apologized to Khloe Kardashian, said she doesn't deserve the embarrassment, the humiliation, and that he loves and respects her. Womp womp. That's the start of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this thing that said it said that the CDC has recommended that Tristan Thompson stop sleeping with every woman in America, and I can get behind that. Like, I think enough is enough. Like, keep it in your pants, buddy.
So
you're not supposed to trust the CDC at this point. I'm just saying.
My thing is this, right? Have sex, do whatever you need to do. But at what point are you like, where's your pullout game? Tristan, like, why are you still like, you can't make a layup, but you can
you can make a lay down.
Yeah, you definitely make your shot. That's like That's the point. Well, I mean, listen.
Full out game. I thought you were gonna say, "Where's the condom?"
I mean that too, but
that too.
I'm already assuming. No, but I'm just already assuming. Man, he's not wearing a condom. That's just
clearly he's not.
That is not in his like mind at all. So if you are one that's not going to do that for whatever reason, you know that you're not going to do it, at least back out of it, man. Pull out the driveway. Don't hit nothing. Like for you to just
he did
stall it out and yeah. I mean, but also, I mean, Nick Cannon may have this problem too. I guess when you super rich, man, you kind of just don't care about bills. But
no, Nick Cannon wasn't denying none of these kids. Tristan was.
Well, no, I'm just saying, period, of just like you even put yourself in a situation to like make another child, whether you want to take care of it or not. Like just $100 million contract. I guess you don't care about too much. But
wait, you said when was the baby conceived? Like, do we know when the girl is due?
Yeah, around like his 30th birthday.
She had the baby already.
Oh, she had the baby.
Yeah, she had the baby when he was denying the baby. Right. To us, she had already had the baby.
Oh.
I think he said like they had sex in March, and then
that's around his birthday.
According to when she had the baby, they should have had sex a different time. It's just ridiculous that someone's literally counting when they had sex with you on social media.
Right.
Like,
what was ridiculous was social media going back and being like, so while he was putting up this post thanking Chloe, he was taking this girl down.
But you know what though? But the girl also saw that post too. You know what I mean? Like it's just at some point, it's just kind of like, where's the respect for yourself? Because if we can go back and we can say you posted this of Chloe, you were doing this with Chloe at that time, that means this girl saw that too, and you were still okay with laying down with
girls have no scruples, Dexter.
Right.
Dex.
She was trying to get her payday, which she got.
It's all about the money, Dex. It's about the paper, man. They not get all self-respect is out the window.
Oh my God.
And Dex, called again. Nina's point about a condom. So you're putting this up about Chloe. She's the love of your life, and you went and laid with that woman that you don't know what she got because you only talked to her on Snapchat, and you was taking that back home to Chloe. So where's his respect just for safety?
But also with that being said though, and I don't want to make this a man and woman thing, but you don't know what's going on. Like he didn't know if this girl had a guy, I'm sure, or maybe he didn't care. But you know that he's having sex with somebody else, and you're still gonna let this man have sex with you without a condom?
So
the onus is not on her. The onus is not on her because she's looking for a come up. The onus is on him. When you have stuff to lose, you got to move different. She don't have nothing to lose.
She could have caught an STD or
worse. She don't care about that. She'll sue him.
She's like, I would go get some antibiotic and still get this payday.
So wouldn't this be like very tricky? So does Tristan and Chloe have a child?
Yeah. True.
Just one?
Yes.
A 3-year-old? She's 3?
What if he only wears a condom with Chloe?
No, he has a child. Remember, he has a child pre-Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what he's saying is what if he only wears condoms with Chloe now? So that's what
that means he loves and respects her.
Yeah, and she was trying to conceive again because they were back together.
The crazy part is she literally has his sperm frozen.
Yeah.
Right? Because
so does everybody else.
They might got it live. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yo, y'all came today. Y'all came to be on the pod today.
Only other thing
Garnett got a money. What is that? A money gun? Like,
you know what we doing?
You ran out of money, huh?
I don't know. I just felt like cleaning it up.
Only other thing I'll say about this is that people are saying like this is karma for Chloe, and I'm like, how is this karma for Chloe? And it literally, that girl can't breathe because just like last week or maybe earlier this week, Lamar Odom came out and was like, I was dating Taraji P. Henson and I left her to go marry Khloe Kardashian. And you remember they got married after like 2 weeks. So you literally were with Taraji and left her to go with Chloe. And Chloe, you knew that he was with her too. And it's just like, you can never win when you play dirty. Like you're going to lose every chance.
You hate them. You find a reason to blame them for everything.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, and then the way they were together again, the first baby mom, Prince, whatever the baby mom, she says they were together.
Yeah.
He says they weren't, which I'm not surprised he said that. Chloe said, and this could be true, he told her they weren't together, but he left her while she was pregnant, like 7-8 months pregnant, to be with Chloe.
Insane.
But it's like, why is this Chloe's fault? We literally have a man.
Oh, it's definitely not.
He literally has an MO, right? And the MO is I'm telling one woman I'm with her and I'm sleeping with someone else. This is his MO. This is not, Chloe hasn't done this with multiple guys. This is him doing this with multiple women. So it's like when people start getting on her, I mean, is there a certain place where you're like, okay, I'm stupid for allowing this to happen to me? Yes. But she literally has her eggs frozen with his sperm to make embryos, and these are the last of her eggs. How old is she? Hold on.
Wait, so Mina, when
like 38, maybe if Kim is 40, 41, what are they, like 2, 3? Because Courtney, then Kim, then her.
She could probably try to have, she's 37. At 37, she could still try to conceive naturally.
But I think she only wants to have kids with him, though. Because I remember seeing this thing and they were saying they want their kids to all have the same father.
She was the one that specifically said that. Not all of them. She said that.
But and Mina, you said that at some point, like, she has to be like, dang, I look stupid for keep taking him back. Like, which kid is that? Like, is that the first kid, the second, the third? Like, when
well, the one wound up not being his. But, I mean...
Right, this is the second time we're going through this. This just ended up being his, but listen, he gonna deny until that paternity test come out.
Like fingers crossed, we 50-50 chance, we don't know.
I was shooting up the club, but I hope they don't catch me.
The best part was when he put his apology on social. Somebody put underneath, Tristan, you're the only one that questioned that child. We've been knew it was yours.
We knew. And Chloe knew too.
It's just so difficult. I mean, you know, I was freezing my eggs, and I just know that the commitment that you have to go through to inject yourself with drugs and that whole long process, and then you literally chose to already join your egg with someone's sperm. It's an embryo at that point when they join it. They have frozen children. So like psychologically, like, I'm going to try to make it work with you because we have frozen children already. We don't know what her reproductive system is like. You know, maybe she could try naturally to conceive with someone new, but the fact is they have frozen children that cost her a lot of time and money to get to this place. So it's like, I understand why she keeps believing in this man and trying, but girl.
But even more, to your point, I think she spoke out before and said she had trouble, because I think she might have tried to conceive with Lamar. So that is the whole thing, is she had trouble trying to naturally conceive, which is why she went the in vitro route.
With him, I think it might have been different.
Listen, sounds like she has an MO too. She likes power forwards. That's what she likes. This is a pattern. He likes championship winning power forward.
I wouldn't call Tristan Thompson championship winning.
He won one with LeBron.
I know, but what was his contribution to this win here, sir?
He grabbed a lot of rebounds. That's it. That's it.
And he hasn't stopped on and off the court.
This is like when people say Danny Green got 3 championship rings, and I was like, he ain't contribute to all those rings.
He did. He's a 3-point shooter that stretches the floor, and at moments he did his job. Not everybody can't be a superstar. Tristan's not asked to drop 30 points. That's LeBron's job. He is asked to get 10 rebounds and to play defense, and he did that.
All right. Work on. Well, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully, Chloe, now this can be the final red flag from Lord Jesus himself.
Tristan, third trimester Thompson.
Right. That's third trimester. But I will say, I know she's conflicted because them babies are on ice. And I don't think she's going to say anything about that. But I can understand why she keeps trying to make it work with him. Because the whole keeping up with the Kardashians, she's like, so when we going to have another baby? When we, like, that's all she care about. I need to unfreeze these eggs.
Try to have a power forward.
Bye, boy. So every new year, people have New Year's resolutions. We got to talk about ours because I could have sworn we talked about doing something together. I don't know if we're really doing that.
That was Dex's idea.
I definitely messed that up.
But your idea, buddy.
We're gonna revisit that conversation right now. But before we do, Moneybagg Yo is saying that he's sober. So you know, the Waukesha song is really about lean. So apparently he's given up the Waukesha. He's not drinking no more scissor, or I don't know what they call it now. You know, ginger ale, I don't know, but but he's sober, and he's saying that he thought that it would like get in the way of his creativity, but he's actually been really creative and just cranking out hits, which is crazy that so many artists believe that they need to be high or they need to be drunk in order to create. And that's why a lot of them develop these habits, which is sad because I don't know. I feel like if you're a professional, you should be able to create uninhibited, you know? Like if this is really like your gift, you should be able to create without having some substance in yourself. That's just my personal opinion. But I wanted to talk about that and just like how artists kind of feel like they need to be like high or drunk in order to create. And I think it's mental, right? Because this proves you don't need to be on the Waukesha to create music. If he's saying that he's creating good music, and then circle back to the conversation about our New Year's resolutions.
I just really want to quickly say, I'm sorry, is he said he's creating hits. So I'm not, and it's now no offense to Moneybagg Yo, but we haven't actually heard it to be the judge, because that's my one thing is you might feel different, but we don't really know if these are bangers yet. But go ahead.
I don't understand the announcement, and I'll get into that later. Like now we're gonna be looking like, oh, this sounds different because he ain't high. Like I don't understand the announcement. You should have just dropped the music and not told us nothing.
I think it's one of those things where, first of all, I applaud it. I think it's amazing because, you know, with these artists, like we say that they're role models and all that kind of stuff like that, and people are listening to what they say. So, like, if you make a song about drugs, right, and then you have this young audience that's listening to you, if you're trying to make a difference, you come out and you say, like, oh, I'm not doing these drugs anymore. I do think that could help these younger people that like follow you and stuff like that. I think, though, him saying that, I think the announcement, based on how my mind works, I think the announcement is probably something that he's considering or he's trying, but I also think it's a gimmick too, because it's one of those things that like, I need a stunt of some sort to get you to pay attention to me again. So if I'm this guy and you know me from this drug situation, this drug song or whatever, and I'd be like, I don't do drugs no more. My music is so different now. We're going to be a little intrigued to be like, okay, well, what does it sound like now? Like, hopefully it is good. But at the same time, it's kind of one of those things where I think that it's, yes, it may be something that he's trying to do, but I think it's more so something that he wants us to know so we can gravitate towards him. Now, as far as artists doing drugs or alcohol to be like on or whatever, I don't necessarily consider myself an artist, but like I like to drink tequila before I do podcasts. And I think I'm like so much better when I drink tequila before I do the podcast. So I don't know. They might
more uninhibited.
Yeah, like I'm open. But I didn't drink it today though, and I feel like I'm just on one today. So I don't
know. Maybe the tequila's in the way. This is what I'm saying. If you something's God given, and this is just my personal opinion, but if something's God given, I don't think you need to enhance anything.
Yeah,
you know, that's just how I feel. But I hear about all these radio, like Wendy Williams is notorious for sniffing coke. You know, like. Wendy's gonna be Wendy whether she's high or not. You know what I'm saying? Like she's Wendy Williams. I feel bad for people that feel like they need a substance in order to make them amazing at what they do. Because some of these people are amazing at what they do and they don't need the substance.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll say is to piggyback off what y'all saying. But one, like to feel like you like having creative juices off of something that makes you tired is like a little crazy. Like it's not like it's lean. It's made to like put you to sleep. That's it. If you fight past it, you just have like this high as if like you forgot to go to sleep off NyQuil. Like it's like,
is that really what it does?
Yeah.
You just fight past it. That's it.
It's like cough. It tastes like when you have cough syrup, it has codeine in it. You know that little buzz that you feel like you're giddy? That's what it tastes like.
Right.
But I don't like it. I don't like it's not a high that I want to have.
Yeah. It depends. Everybody likes different highs. Like, you know, like
so
people like different things.
With that, and there has been like I'm happy he did stop because it's been too many rappers, people in the same industry that have lost their life off of that. And you know, for people to actually still be doing and promoting that as if like they're above it is a little, you know, asinine to me. It's like, you know, it does something to your health. You saw what happened to Gucci. Like Gucci said, him going to jail, that's how he basically lost his belly because he wasn't on lean no more. It gives people a certain look. A lot of them have that pop belly. It's almost like a bear belly, and they gain a lot of weight, and so you have him.
Except for Lil Wayne.
I was gonna say, but you remember Rick Ross? They were saying that he had that heart attack or that thing on splaying because he was on scissor, and then Lil Wayne notoriously, having his seizures because of it. I mean, they'll tell you up and down that it's not because of the lean, but a lot of people say that the lean does cause, those health issues.
People can say that it's not because of the lean, but people who are, I don't know, boiling their cereal, like they're not having these same issues. Something is doing it to you. Like it is something.
That's how that's damn by, yo. But yeah, I also, I would say, weed, for instance, right? Like, I just think too much of anything will hinder you no matter what. I feel like, if you smoke too much weed, you may go from having creative mind thoughts, because weed can spark creativity. There's actually some weed that's grown specifically for that. So, it does something to your brain, but if you smoke it too often, then your brain actually gets cloudy. So you're actually going to need like certain breaks from things. So too much of anything is actually going to like hinder your creativity or harm you in a way, whatever you're trying to do. So
there's a weed that makes you creative.
Some of it,
weed that can make you do anything, be up, be down, mellow, be.
So that is.
They have apps that tell you, like, if you want to do this, smoke this weed.
That's sativa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's because the indica make you down.
Right. The indica is a downer. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah. They have a whole app for it. A couple.
Yo, it's something else.
If your back hurt, you can go on there and say, my back hurt. It say, smoke this weed.
Yeah.
It won't tell you where to get it. That's the next step in it. Like, order now. That's the next level of that app. Like, you got a headache, smoke this weed, order it now, and it's at your door.
I am really fascinated by this. I'm not doing it, but I'm very fascinated by this.
Hey, some things.
It's not the dirt where we're used to smoking for free. I mean, for cheap. It's not that.
See, that's it. It'll make you creative, but you got to pay an arm and a leg for it.
Right.
What you pay for? My one thing I was just thinking too is, and I'm not trying to say he only raps about drugs, but to me, I'm just thinking it would be interesting if any of the music he talks about, like doing drugs, like, do you talk about it in a past tense if you're saying you stop? Because you can't really talk about it like again, the Waukesha song. So it'll be interesting to see. But to your point now, Dex, it has us more intrigued.
Mm-hmm. Because I wasn't intrigued before. I didn't care.
I was just going to say, every time I see him perform, he is terrible. So maybe this will improve his craft, because he is the worst. I remember one award show, I was like, why are you on here? He wasn't even singing or rapping any of his lyrics. You were just hearing the track in the background. And I was like, why are you on here, bro? Go home.
Much lean.
Right. That's exactly it. I remember, do you remember the album that Birdman was trying to block Lil Wayne from releasing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the Carter 3. Was it the Carter 3?
Might have been a 5.
The Carter 5, yeah. It wasn't the Carter 3. That was dumb. I know it was one of the Carters. I remember listening to that album that Birdman tried to block, and I'm like, this is bad. Like, you can literally hear certain songs, it wasn't all bad, because Lil Wayne is not gonna be bad for long. He's Lil Wayne. But the reason why I thought some of it was bad was because you can literally hear the songs where he is trashed, because he's slurring, and he's not, like, his punchlines aren't the same. It just sounds messy. It doesn't sound like the Wayne that we know. And then some songs, he sounded like classic Wayne. So I could tell these songs were recorded at different moments, because some of them, he sounds high and it sounds bad. And I would understand why Birdman would be like, we're not letting you release this. Yeah. Go back and fix this. You're Lil Wayne. But as us consuming it, we're like, oh, you're a bad person, Birdman. Like, why would you block Lil Wayne from releasing his album? Well, when I heard that album, I'm like, this man is so high on this song. They needed to keep this song off the album. I can't even understand what he's saying. But we'll see what the music sound like. I would have appreciated the announcement afterwards, because now I'm going to scrutinize the music.
Yeah, for sure. But at least you'll listen.
Right.
All right. Well, new year, we also have new music on the way. I wanted to talk about some albums that you guys are like looking forward to this year, or maybe some people that you want to hear music from. Like, I know we've been waiting on a Cardi B album for like ever, and she just had the baby. So it's like, when is the album coming? I know The Weeknd announced that his album's coming as well. I saw Kanye West is working on Donda 2 already, which Kanye West is out here. He out here dating.
Yes, he is.
The
Smiling.
model. Right. He's in the club trying to catch
Laughing.
COVID. I was like, Kanye. So I just wanted to kind of pick your brains as to like, who do you want to hear music from? I heard like Travis Scott is working on an album. Do we care about that? Is it too soon? And just kind of pick your brain on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Lil Zane next album. Like, I can't.
Yo, you so stupid.
Yeah,
If you would have said Bow Wow.
I mean, Bow Wow too, for sure, but he retired. So, you know, he just on his 2000s Millennium Tour. Like, I get it, understand it. He focused on the past, but, you know, Lil Zane is back to acting again. He in BMF, so I feel like he about to, you know, drop some stuff.
He is in BMF.
Yeah, he about to drop some stuff for the streets that we can really like live to and vibe out to. So I'm interested in that. Yeah.
I think that one of the reasons why I don't really, when I saw this on the docket, I was like, I really have nothing to contribute to this because I don't care about none of these. I don't care. I don't want to hear no album from nobody. I really just don't care. And the reason I think behind it is because I'm stuck musically in this vortex of early 2000s. And for whatever reason, I can't get out of it.
There are so many people that say that though. Like, I'm surprised at the amount of people that are like, I just listen to old music. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't even want like Ashanti and Fat Joe and I really don't even want y'all to release new music. I want to be stuck right where I'm at with the songs that y'all already have. I really don't even, if these people never release anything else, I'll be fine. Like Maya, like I listen to Maya a lot. Like these are songs, I'm like, I don't know. I think I like how life was at the time. So like, I like listening to those songs, like the songs I heard in high school. Like I'm DMX, like, you know what I mean? I don't need new DMX music. I'm so content with what I have right now. And I don't know. I just don't care about these new people when they come out.
You don't want to hear a Rihanna album? We've been waiting on a Rihanna album for like 6
You know,
years.
when you say we,
the world,
the Navy.
I'm good. And actually, even when I be stuck in my vortex of early 2000s, I be putting Rihanna on there neither.
Oh my God.
Disrespectful.
That's terrible.
I don't know. Like I'm not really looking forward to new stuff from anybody. And also I feel like I don't like the pressure that we put people under now. Like Rihanna and Cardi B are really good examples because I almost feel like the two of them are afraid to put out new music just because there's so much anticipation. And like people are going to trash it just no matter what. You know what I mean? Like even with Nicki Minaj, I feel like they're afraid to really throw new music out because like we're like brutal these days.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, I don't know. I just feel like we just enjoyed the music for what it was. Like we got us a music video, we got the music, we just enjoyed it. Now everything's gotta be picked apart, who they diss or what they're talking about. They sound terrible. It's too much.
So, yeah, well, you didn't have social media and us tearing down like artist song or, oh, she said this, she was talking about this person. We didn't really have that. You know, we was more putting a song up on our MySpace page or whatever we was doing.
There we go.
But go ahead, Garnett.
Now I was gonna say, let me backtrack and apologize. So I must have been asleep. So Lil Zane actually like dropped some bangers like this year. Well, in 2021, he dropped 3:25 a.m. back in September. I was asleep on that, but I'm definitely gonna catch up. And then he dropped the Christmas song, "Feels Like Christmas" in December.
No, he did not.
Little Zane dropped the Christmas song.
Yeah, like I said, and you know it's hot. Like I said, he for the streets. You already know.
He wasn't on the Millennium Tour, was he?
Nah, he too big for that. Come on now.
No, he got one hit. That's why.
Right.
What is he gonna do? Can anybody name his hit?
I was about to say, what is it?
Can anybody name a little Zane song?
Calling Me. Yeah, exactly. Tupac.
Calling me.
Oh, okay.
Say my name.
Yeah,
Another one.
That's what he embodied, the great Tupac. You understand?
Okay, no, we're not gonna do that because
that's
this will be a
the
longer
only
time.
song.
Let's just No.
That's the only little Zayn song you're gonna find. He had one
Oh,
hit.
but he
That's
did
why
movies. He did some movies though.
Yeah, he been doing acting.
Well, don't say he's been doing acting. The last thing was 2003, but like, I mean,
He's
has
acting
movies.
now.
Hey,
That's
he got
because the
good-
music ain't work out. You gotta do something.
I was gonna say, I'm with you though, Mina. I kind of do want to hear Cardi, but I do understand what you're saying, Dex, about the pressure. But I do want to hear some more Cardi music. I mean, I'm always down for some more Beyonce. She can always just surprise me with an album, and I'll never be disappointed or bad. So, B if you're listening, you can just drop one on us.
Mhm.
Rihanna, as much as I would love it, I do feel like just on purpose, she's just not going to give it to us right now. And it's just going to be definitely what everybody least expected. But I would say that's it. I'm not really looking for music. Nas just dropped the album right around Christmas. I still haven't listened to all of that. So I can't even judge that one. And honestly,
so far.
is it good?
I heard, I haven't listened to it yet, but they said like he has like super dope beats, which was like the only thing holding him back.
Yeah, I think he worked with Hit Boy on
Hit
this,
Boy
right?
again, yeah.
Yeah.
So they said the production is matching his lyrics right now. So sounds
Oh,
good.
and you know who I think is going to come out with a new album? And I could be speculating because I don't know. This ain't no insider information because it ain't like Adam told me this or nothing. But I think like Eminem or somebody could come out with a new album.
I don't
they're
care.
doing the
Why
Super
would you
Bowl.
even say I don't care?
I'm just saying. I can see it happening after the Super Bowl, maybe.
I thought you was gonna say Jay-Z because of them that versus remark.
See, but Jay-Z will just he'll get on somebody's song. I don't think he feels like he has to do another album unless it's with Beyonce.
Well, I hope Eminem feels like he don't have to do another album unless it's with Beyonce.
I just feel like Eminem's style, as much as I respect him and enjoy his music, I just feel like his style was part of an era that I don't care to revisit. Like that, the na 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 na.
But that's why, like
that, like aggravated, like I'm high off meth.
I am. I love it.
Yeah, that aggravated, I'm high off meth music. I don't need it. Okay, I don't need
it. But honestly, I was going to say, I'm actually looking forward to more new gospel music. Gospel be banging, and actually a lot of these secular artists, I'm going to call them secular, like I'm an old church lady because I got my beret on. They're transforming in the gospel. Like you got Justin
Lil
Bieber
Baby
up
has
there,
a song with Kirk Franklin.
Little Baby with Kirk. Like they trying to come over because really the gospel music, they stay putting out music. They don't get respected. The music be good. I look forward to the new gospel and Christian contemporary coming out.
I'm in a gospel vortex too, but my gospel vortex is like 1997, 98. I don't want to hear nothing.
Listen to some of the new stuff, the Christian contemporary stuff. Like that's borderline
like Donda.
Gospel,
I don't want to hear. No,
Donda is not.
I want something.
But it is not.
I want to hear something that's gonna make me want to give my life to the Lord. Yolanda Adams and Kirk Franklin before they wanted to be cool. I want to hear this.
Listening to Chandler Moore, Maverick City Music, Elevation Worship.
What the hell is going on?
But I also want it to be feel like a Negro spiritual too.
Okay, wait a minute.
With the choir and like
Donda, he got the choir with him.
Mina, God really is about to question your heart at this point because you've been ridiculous.
And I was gonna say, Mina, I know Kanye working on another album, but bruh, the last one had like 26 songs. How much more? We don't need a part two.
His creative juices are going.
But don't even call it Donda part. We don't need a part two. That was parts 3 and 4 were on them. So I was getting tired. Like it was a homework assignment. Like, song 22. Okay. I got 4
but then he kept re-releasing and adding songs. Do you remember that?
Yes. I was like, wait, what's the difference in this one?
And then people were complaining that he was adding stuff because people were complaining.
I do have a question though. If just hear me out. If R. Kelly released an album, right? Would you guys give it a shot?
Yo, that thing could go quadruple platinum.
Nobody's gonna play to get the airplay.
That would say a lot about us as a society, though, because I really think people would listen to it.
I don't think they would, because remember he went on tour when all this started bubbling, and they had to cancel the tour because nobody was going.
And listen, it would go just one.
If he it might get a lot of hits.
I was gonna say because the tour, if he goes on tour and those people are outside and they're protesting, they have to see you. You gonna catch me there because I would feel shamed. But an album, if they put it out on the internet and they allowed it to stream and stuff like that, and people can do it knowing, I think they'll be into it because nobody would know that they're doing it. Like they'll do it privately.
I saw someone say like they would like to see a versus between R. Kelly and Jay-Z, best of both worlds. I'm like, if you don't get out of here, him live from jail. R. Kelly live from jail.
For some reason, that's the last person I will underestimate. Like, just because his like barring the other stuff, right? Like, man, he is like if he dropped another Trapped in the Closet, like part like 97 to 105, like because I don't know where he's at right now. Like, people gonna watch that. I don't give a damn what you doing. If Trapped in the Closet was on Netflix right now today, people gonna watch it.
You know what though? No one has done anything like that since. Like put out like a video audio saga. It was a soap opera we were watching.
Yeah.
And we all watched it.
Nobody is doing that. I got lost after like 9.
Yeah, it got crazy after a while. And
yeah.
He had little people coming out of the cabinets. Man, this right here is the weird part though, because we're talking about this and now I'm interested in listening to it again, but I won't because I don't whatever. But like it's just difficult. If the content is out there, I think it'd be really difficult not.
Nobody's going to release the content. That's
Here's the thing: you can't deny someone's creative genius, right? Nobody is saying that he's not a creative genius. He absolutely was, and a very gifted artist. But it's like when you're such a devious person, like why would you even support? It doesn't matter how creative you are. Like, why would you support someone like that? And I really think that, especially, it's sad, but a lot of his fan base was women. So it's literally split down the middle. Like the women that are like, I would never, know, and then the women that are like, he ain't do it. Like, girl.
Or they like, I don't care if you do it. I'm still stepping in the name of love.
Right.
Listen, a lot of people, like Dex was alluding to, they may not claim it out loud that they're going to listen to it, but the world is happening outside, and it's been plenty of DJs where I've been that they play R. Kelly and everybody's dancing and no one's complaining.
I got a true confession. In the last year, I think it was on my Apple Music, Get This Money with him and Jay-Z came on, and I didn't turn it off because I was like, no, this was a banger.
When I hear Speeding with him and Rick Ross, I just don't turn it on, but I pretend like it's me and Rick Ross. I was like, well, I'm driving. Look, I'm driving. I can't the thing right now.
His singing voice just gets under my skin now. I want no parts. And then I dissect everything that he says, and I'm like, you're talking about a 15-year-old. So
I don't know, that beat will Get This Money. I mean, I'm just saying.
Y'all terrible. Y'all talking about me. Y'all over here going to church talking about when R. Kelly come on, I don't skip no beat. Like,
I was surprised because I thought they had
shame on you people. You see how you church people
be on from Apple Music. It ain't my fault. It
is your fault. You can hit skip. I never want to hear this again. Thumbs down. This is a terrible song.
No.
See, look at y'all. Terrible. Oh, look at these church people.
That's Apple's fault for not double checking that everything was scrubbed.
All right, let's get into our topic because we kind of touched on it a little bit, but this year is so crazy. And my mother is convinced that the world is ending, and she's like, speaking about the Bible, it's funny that that was kind of like an underlining theme in today's show. Like, she's like, this is what it says in the Bible. Like, people are going to be sick. Weather is crazy. It's snowing one day and then 80 the next. It's just like with the weather and people getting sick and all the death around us. Like, I bought a new gravestone for my father's grave, and they were saying that that industry has skyrocketed so much. I didn't even think about this. That industry has skyrocketed so much during COVID, where tombstones are up 15%, graves are up 15%, burials, because it's like the mass amount of people that are dying right now. And then there's a new variant. It's called the IHU, which sounds like I hate you. So I can already see memes, with that SZA song that's on TikTok, memes gonna start floating, but it's from France, 46 strands. It just seems like this isn't going away and the world is absolute chaos. Are you guys scared? How do you feel going into the new year with literally us on the heels of this terrible holiday and then coming into the new year and it's already mess?
Well, I definitely feel like I can agree with your mom as far as just like the world is ending, but maybe not in a conventional way of people would think like the world isn't going to blow up one day tomorrow. No, I just feel like the way that we used to live is like changing, just like everything is literally changing. 10 years from now, the kids will look at certain things as being normal. Like, how we had like pre-Google and then after Google, like it's going to be pre-mask, and then all we know is like people with masks on. All we know is people go get shots all the time, or just certain way of living. So, I mean, it's just flushing out some of the old ways in a sense. Like I said, I don't think that the Mayans did anything, or Y2K is here, and none of that stuff that we believed in the past. But it's just more so everything is changing. Even technology. Look at the money. Like, I'm out here shooting money when realistically I want it to be Bitcoin, because that's where we headed.
Yeah.
If I got 100 Bitcoin, I am super rich. Like, I'm loaded. So everything right now is just changing. You got VR, like it's becoming normal as far as like for video games and stuff like that. You can watch TV in VR. I saw something actually this morning that Canon camera actually have a new VR lens to take your pictures in. It's like so much stuff is just changing right now. So
I saw a flying car, to your point today, a video of a flying car.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got way more, where that come from, but it's definitely we out here living with iRobots. That's all.
But I think though with COVID though specifically for me, I refuse to give it more power, and I also refuse to play dumb about it. Like before, I think that the biggest thing that was told to us is that we're trying to mask up and do these things to stop the spread, and I believe that, and I think that that's true, and I can stand behind that. I think now we've gotten to a point where people are like, because everybody's catching it, and like the government is being loose with the rules with it sometimes, and then they're being strict other times, and people have this new mindset where it's like, well, everybody's going to catch it, and I personally reject it. I have not gotten COVID. I don't want to catch it, and I don't want to say like, oh, it's going to hit me too, I'm going to get that. I think that we need to get to a point where we're taking this serious, but we're also still living the life that we want to live. Like what Garnett was saying, like the world is changing. Like for me, COVID has really been a blessing. Like, I mean, like the working from home stuff, the saving money stuff, the like outside of losing relatives to it, I don't have any issues with it. But now it's becoming a thing that people aren't taking it as serious, and not people who don't care about it. There are people who just don't care. But I mean, people who are paid to care about it aren't taking it as serious. And that's like my issue with it. And when I say our government, like it's not taking it serious.
Well, I would say the government part. I mean, again, we're in America. It's a capitalist society. And I think that money rules everything. And the reason why those CDC guidelines and everything changed was not for our benefit. I think it was because NFL needs to happen. NBA needs to happen. These airlines need to fly. And those rules, oh my God, not iRobot.
Garnett just changed his background to Will Smith and the iRobot. Why is that one staring at you?
Right. So it freaked me out because I like look right there at his screen and just see it in the corner. But again, and I do think it's a shame because other countries, I think, take it a little bit more serious than we take it. But again, hashtag this is America and money rules all. I do think even for us, we did get lax in certain ways. Like I know at first I was probably overboard with spraying stuff down. And when the Amazon guy would come and like things that we did just start getting like kind of loose on in terms of like protections and what you should do. I went to a Sixers game last night and y'all know I be telling on people. You don't never want to do a crime with me. It was these 4 black guys sitting courtside that did not wear a mask the entire time. And it wasn't because they were eating. They just didn't want to, I think, because they thought we courtside. But I'm like, but that's not protecting all the other people that are sitting courtside with masks, that are sitting right next to you. It's not protecting these players on the court. So we still have people, we're recording this, oh my gosh, these variants are so easy to catch. But you would sit through 4 quarters of a game with no mask on.
But I think people do that because there's this new mindset of we're all going to catch it anyway, or I've already had it, or this person's had it multiple times. And then even when they talk about it on TV, like they always report when a celebrity has it. This morning, they reported Whoopi Goldberg has it. And Whoopi Goldberg's like 60-something years old. They're like, Whoopi Goldberg has COVID, so she wasn't on the show yesterday, but her symptoms are mild and she's vaccinated and she has the the booster shot. And it's like, I feel like they do that so they make it not as scary. It's not that big of a deal. Everybody's going to get it or whatever, but people are still dying. And
like my cousin she's seriously sick right now. Like a lot of people have caught it, but she's been to the ER like twice. And just
but now we're pretending like that's not a thing. Whereas before we were like, we don't got no hospital beds. I'm sure there's no hospital beds now. All these damn cases all these cases are coming up, and they're like, if it's like 1,000 plus cases or 10,000 plus cases in a day, and we all know somebody who currently has it, I'm sure, people are going to the hospital. So the same issue that we had before about there not being hospital beds, I'm positive that's still an issue right now, but they're just not publicizing that.
Well, they are talking about it, but the issue right now is the children's hospitalizations are much higher than they were. So they're talking about that a little bit more because that wasn't the past. That wasn't the case in the past.
But now they're doing that so they can say like, oh, look, we just approved the Pfizer vaccination for kids under 0 years old.
That's why true, but it's the same thing like Garnett said, it's going to be our new way. This thing, as Mina said, she just talked about a new variant. I didn't even know. It's going to continue to mutate. It's going to continue to change. And every variant isn't going to have the same. I actually saw them try to put up a post that was like, this is if you have the COVID variant.
Right.
This is if you have the Delta. Right. And I was looking at them like, they all kind of say the same thing. And then it said, and this is if you just have a common cold or flu. And I was like, okay. They all say the same thing. So I don't even know who y'all thought that this was helping because it actually made you more confused and think you have it. But I think to your mom's point, to Garnett's point, I have a lot of older people. My mom says it too every day. Like, this is it. Like, we going out. That's why you got to go to church, read your Bible. But, with the one thing she even said to me today earlier was, we don't live in fear. Like, you live in your faith that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But we are living in much different times that we just see in our society. And then when you have things like the COVID outbreak kept going on and you see how it affects people making money in industries. Just quick sidebar. I went out with my friend. He works for Houston Rockets. So we tried to grab a bite to eat Sunday. We walked into a cheesecake factory downtown. They were short staffed because of COVID. It was limited options because it's 9 o'clock and I didn't know everywhere downtown closes at 9.
I love that you knew that I was judging you.
Yeah, because I saw your face. Limited options. So we walked in and she says, I'm sorry, unfortunately, due to the outbreak, we're short staffed and we had to decide to close at 8 o'clock. And since you walked in at 8:01, we're not going to be able to seat you. I was like, you didn't have to say that last part. You could have just said y'all were closing. Right. But anyway. But yeah, I think we do have to be careful though. Like we just do have to be careful and do our part. Whatever your part is, just try to do your part. And however you see that fitting, again, to your point, some people don't feel like they have to be responsible because they feel like I'm gonna just catch it anyway, but just help me not get it then if you don't care. Because you don't, what it might do to you, it might not do the same to me.
Right. I have a question though. Are they still testing people to be on the floor? I know that you had to give.
No, they don't do it. The NBA doesn't do it anymore. See? But now to enter into the Wells Fargo Center, you have to be vaccinated. And I'm going to probably just be quiet on that. But let me just say, yesterday was the first day. They probably should tighten up how they do that. That's all I'm going to say.
It's right now. I guess it's still like, it's not mandatory. So like.
No. It was mandatory. But I'm just saying the process was very like, I had already figured out 5 ways you could get around that process.
So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So the news that I heard on the radio was more so like starting, I guess like in January at some point, early January, it was you needed like at least like a negative like COVID test from like,
so let me
or something like that.
Let me clarify. So this is particularly in Philly for people not listening outside of Philly, but there's rules being rolled out across the country. Specifically in Philly, it's starting on January 3rd, they're going to start the vaccination mandate, which means any place that sells beverage or food, you have to show a card, right? But as a grace period to get people acclimated until I believe January 20th,
I thought it was the 17th
or 7th, something like that. 24th. They will accept a negative test. This is in the interim because obviously there's going to be a learning curve for some people, so it's like, and they do this in New York already.
Right.
So,
they've been doing
there's some people that are more advanced with this. Like I was in New York in the summer and they were already doing this.
Yep.
So they're just starting to roll it out to different places now, but they are accepting negative tests, but that's just in the interim to get people acclimated. Eventually, I think everywhere, probably in the north, not the south, but everywhere in the north, I think eventually you will have to show a vaccination card to get in anywhere. It's almost like showing an ID to get in to drink. That's how I see this going, in the future.
Now with this vaccination card at the events and stuff like that, do I show it to the security guard or do I have to bring it in and show it when I get to the?
So they have somebody, as soon as you walk in, the first person is going to ask you for
because I don't want to carry my card around with me. I'm going to.
So that's what I'm point is. I didn't have my card. I had it on my phone.
And I was gonna say
so
that
I'm not
I feel like
I'm gonna tell people to be shady.
So I went to the City Girls concert and in North Philadelphia, and I didn't know this at the time, but they were like, well, we only take vaccinated people. I didn't know this at the time. I didn't have my physical card on me, and I did take a picture of it just in case. I have a picture of my ID and my vaccination card just in case, because you never know, what happens in life. But they let me in, but that could have been Shayna's vaccination card.
Well, see, that's my point about like the process yesterday. And again, I'm gonna give the Wells Fargo. It was the first day, so it was just.
It's not just the Wells Fargo. I think in general, the rules regarding showing your vaccination card, like, are we accepting?
Well, New York is different.
Are you doing the actual like card? Are we going to get IDs at some point where it shows on there I'm vaccinated and boosted, so that the government is issuing it to you, and it's more like, it's hard to fake an ID these days, right? Is it going to get to that point where it's not like I can literally show you this card here and say it's my vaccination card and you believe it?
Right. The one thing I think they should do is in New York, for some of the restaurants, they accepted Clear. And Clear made me go through like a true verification process to verify it was me, to the point that my picture on Clear is a mess because I thought it was just verifying my face. I didn't know it was going to stay my picture. So I got the bonnet on. I'm in the bed with my nightgown on. And because the verification process is, I can't change it. So every time, if I go to New York now, to open up the Clear app, like the guy looked at me, I was like, don't, just scan it. Just scan it for my
Can we see it? Can we see the picture?
No, it's horrible. But they should have told me. I looked, it just said, we need to verify that you're you. So I didn't think it was going to be like the profile picture. Yeah. But I think that's what people should do, an app, because it scans it. And because you go through all of those steps to verify the card, it's you and everything, I think that's better.
Yeah, but in general, I remember when all this first started, I forgot who said it on the pod, like, this is a business. That's what I don't like about this. Like, this is a business at this point. And it's like, they're selling at-home tests. They're selling pills, at-home pills at this point. Like, if you have COVID, here's the pills you need to take. And it's like everything is so lax now. It's like, oh, if you get this vaccine, it's almost like all your problems go away. The fact that they're not testing people on the floor, you're putting our players in jeopardy. You're putting our coaches in jeopardy. And it's just lazy. And the reason, why they let up on all this requirements with the testing is because they're running out of tests.
Right.
They don't have enough tests. I mean, they even recently said, like, PCR tests, like, they really can't tell the difference between the flu and the COVID variants. The testing is become a mess. It's become costly for the government. They're spending a ridiculous amount of money, to test people. They're running out of tests. So it's like, okay, let's pass this legislation that says after 5 days, if you feel fine, you can go outside without a test. That's why all this stuff is happening. That's why, Shayna, you can sit on the floor of a basketball game and not have to show a test that you took 2 hours before the game. And I just feel like it's so irresponsible.
And they don't want to talk about all the tests they destroyed over the summer because they thought it was waning. It wasn't going to be a surge again. So tests were just thousands of tests. Like, did you know, I'll be reading my CNN, was destroyed, that they're not talking about that. Like, that's like a story that's like, okay, anyway, like, that's why there's not enough tests.
Well, that's a bleak outlook for our future.
I know. We're resilient in a lot of things. I mean, we've been, what is this? Our 20th month is really longer. They say 20, but it's called COVID-19 for a reason. It was here at 19. I know somebody who wasn't tested for it, but I swear had it 24 months ago. You know, we're resilient. We're always going to bounce back in ways, but I just think like our government, we just got to be a little smarter. If you're going to stay open, you know, because you want to still make money in all these ways and sports and travel and leisure and restaurants. Like you have to be smarter. Like Wawa's are closed because they don't have enough people because too many of their staff have it and then people can't get tested. Like Wawa
districts are like that.
I was gonna say, I think the biggest thing for me is the food sector. How crazy, like there's certain things you just can't get anymore. Everything is going up. I paid $3.50 for a slice of pizza. I was like, what? And then a $1.25 for 3 garlic knots. What happened to 4 for $1?
Girl, so cheap.
Listen, I will say this. You know, we talking about like shortages and stuff during this time. The thing that left me baffled was like, how is it a chicken tender shortage? Like in this whole world, are you kidding me? Like
because everybody be feeding their kids chicken tenders
as they should. That's great stuff. I had chicken tenders last night from Wegmans. Amazing. I'll tell you that. Blew my socks off. But yeah, that more so blew my mind. But to go back to what y'all was saying, even just with the money and all, man, the government get money. They don't really care about none of that. The way I look at it is they're just conditioning us to be okay with what's going on and what's happening, which means that, okay, it goes from 2 weeks to being in the house. Because imagine if it was 2 weeks, everybody really had to be in. And when it's, this rampant, cutting it down to 5 days means that, yeah, you still can continue your business. Because if everybody in the office got it for 2 weeks, somebody's going out of business immediately. So cutting it down to 5 days helps that person be able to do something. But, man, the government is eating and eating well.
We should have been like New Zealand or whatever. When they got one case, they shut the whole country down. And guess what? I ain't heard of them having no case. That was 10 months ago.
But listen, I bet you they medical field not getting no money because of it either.
Well, they back open. They're flourishing. They're fine.
So one of us go over there.
I don't think they accepted us.
You saw the CDC just said you do not go to Aruba because they said it's a level 5. They classify now.
Oh man, Aruba can't afford that.
Yeah, they classified the overseas countries according to like how bad it is. They were like, do not go to Aruba. I don't know, man. Same with my mom for so long. This holiday got me feeling like
I don't blame you.
Scared, but you're right, Shayna. I'm glad you went to church because you can't live in fear. We can't. But I just know like the only other thing that I went through that's similar to this was the recession back in 2008. And I just remember like going through, or even like the Twin Towers being like,
right.
being crashed into. Like I'm not that old. I haven't experienced that many things, but this is by far probably like the scariest thing that I've experienced out of all the things.
Yeah.
Like terrorism, you know what I'm saying? Like overseas terrorism, and then how our lives changed after that with security, It always takes something for us to like change our lives, or like how the recession was. And after that, how everything like consolidated and all the jobs, this is when people started doing 3 jobs and got paid for 1 after that recession. Like I'm literally seeing how our world changes because of these life events. And by far, this one is the scariest for me.
Yeah. I was going to say, if y'all haven't done so, watch Don't Look Up on Netflix. It's like a parody. On America, and it's hilarious when you see
Leonardo DiCaprio in it or something.
He's in it, Jennifer Lawrence, Glenn Close, Tyler Perry. Like it's funny and it's kind of long, but it is a parody on America and like just how we are.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say to the people is, because right now everything is so like we don't know what tomorrow's gonna be like. So if you're out there, pick up a trade or be like super great at your job. Even if you are great at your job, try to be a little bit more self-sufficient. So that way, if something does happen to your job, they downsize or anything of that nature, you'll have your clientele, you'll have your mind, you'll be mindful to start your own business in that manner. And if you have a trade, it's very hard to get you out of here. And that's with any trade. So,
or maybe just get a work from home job and do 2 of them like people are doing.
That too.
Or there's always Tristan Thompson.
Listen,
I don't think Garnett want to go down that route.
Ladies, do not. Yeah, I'm not going to ladies. Do not try to find Tristan to get your payday. Okay, don't do it. Don't listen to Shayna. Bad advice.
Garnett, I can't take you serious because you got that robot next.
I
to
know,
you
and they like
at you.
staring, and they got the side eye staring.
Right, it's scary, man. It's
All
scaring
that.
me. All right, well, thank you guys for listening, or if you're watching us on YouTube, to the 207th episode of the Mina's House podcast. I mean to say what?
I'm Shayna B.
Garnett Briscoe.